Hello, welcome to this Joyful Living series. We live in a busy world. Everything around us and everyone seems to always be in a haste. We are endlessly in pursuit of one thing or the other that time seems to be always against us. Life in the present age looks like a series of constant motion. There is nothing wrong with being active and constantly in pursuit of something you consider important in life. But the question is, what are you pursuing? And how important is it in reality? There are several reasons for doing whatever we do. But it is not all the reasons that are profitable. James chapter 4, verses 1 to 3 hits at some wrong reasons that people do certain things. He wrote, "You desire, but do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. These things cause quarrels among people." What James noted derives from a sense of discontent. Discontent in itself is not bad. If properly acted upon, it can lead towards a life with greater meaning, purpose, and impact. If not, it can be the beginning of looking back on our lives with regret and engaging in acts that are counterproductive. When people are not content with who they are, their possessions, and their positions in life, they could be moved to do something nasty in the hope of getting some satisfaction. People easily get involved in wrong things where they don't feel satisfied with either who they are, what they do, or the things going on around them, yet without any real effort or possibility to turn them around. The act of contentment, which is described as feeling or showing satisfaction with one's possessions, status, or situation, is at the center of joyful living. It is not about the quantity of a person's possession or the position such a person occupies on the career ladder or in society. It does not as well imply laziness or failure to exert oneself to achieve greater heights in one's career. No, it is rather about the inner disposition of a person to be satisfied with that which belongs to him or her. Contentment goes beyond material interests. The illusion of seeking to gain internal satisfaction from something external of a person has driven many to despair. That is part of the reasons that even the rich cry and the mighty lose sleep. But when people are content with their life, with what they do and the things going on around them, their perception of life is different. Thus, it is more about looking inward and creating your happiness from that which belongs to you. Happiness, they say, is an inside job. Paul learned contentment from the various difficulties he went through in the spread of the gospel. His words in Philippians chapter 4, verses 12 and 13 are very educative. He wrote, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. By refusing to focus on his former position as a learned Pharisee and other material incentives and focusing on Christ, Paul began to enjoy peace of mind even in the midst of persecutions. Contentment has to do with a mindset. Depending on the mindset, a person can be content with little in the midst of plenty, keep simple when every other person is showing off, and can be at peace with oneself irrespective of what is going on around him or her. Contentment helps you to react properly when confronted with things that you can do nothing about. Rather than fretting and getting upset, you know how to place things where they truly belong, thereby maintaining a peaceful disposition. The joy a content person feels has a lot to do with the ability to live in the present reality with respect and appreciation of what you do have and where you are in life, and maintaining a positive outlook to the future. Contentment is visible in people whose lifestyle is an expression of gratitude, warmth, considerate, and respectful engagement with others in such a manner that recognizes differences while focusing on their personal journey. They understand that each person has a unique life journey and experience, and as such, are neither envious of the other nor unduly competitive and comparative of their situation with that of others. They are therefore not excited by just anything, and are not discouraged by what others do. That guarantees them some level of security against unnecessary worry. Jesus spoke against unnecessary worry in Matthew chapter 6, verses 26 to 32. Those who worry a lot are often not the people that suffer much lack, but those who have not learned to be satisfied with what they have or to separate needs from wants. John the Baptist warned the soldiers that came to him to be content with their pay, knowing that lack of contentment leads to corruption, abuse of power, and all sorts of vice. A discontent person is difficult to deal with and can barely be satisfied. No matter the amount of sacrifice you make, there will always be something to complain about. A discontent person can as well be dangerous. If such is a lover of money, he can sell you just in the same manner that Judas betrayed Jesus for love of money. Lack of contentment, when not properly managed by engaging in positive action, can lead to greed, envy, jealousy, rivalry, unhealthy competition, crime, and all sorts of vice. Wisdom chapter 2, verses 23 to 24 notes that God created man incorruptible and made him in the image of his own eternity. But through the devil's envy, death entered the world, and those who belong to his party experienced it. That symbol of death is the destruction of joy, inner peace, truth, trust, love, unity, and all that give value to life. When people are discontent with who they are and fail to appreciate the gifts of life and what God has made available to them, they risk leaving themselves open to all kinds of thoughts to infiltrate their minds. It becomes easy to go on comparing themselves to others in an unsatisfactory manner. Such acts easily trigger feelings of jealousy and envy, which the wisdom writer described as the origin of death. Contentment comes with a rightly ordered lifestyle that places everything in its order of priority. Jesus said, "Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." The good news about the act of contentment is that it is a learned behavior that comes with practice and a change in mindset. Although being content does not imply freedom from pain and difficulties we normally come across in life, it saves you from sinking into despair and doing wrong things that eventually deny you peace of mind. May you learn to be content with who you are and what you have, knowing that God who made you is your provider and guide. His love and grace are sufficient for you in all things. Thanks for watching.